Prayer or silence, whichever your choice. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 20th, 2020?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve appropriations ordinance number 17?
I move we approve ordinance number 17.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Declare the public input session open for any items not on the agenda. Do you see anything from anyone online? Ask the bench. Okay, I will call on Chief Weisman.
I have a quick announcement for everyone. The fire department was made aware of large amounts of fuel that's being stored in buildings and containers due to low prices. The fuel, oil, and hydrocarbon products are heavily regulated substances due to the dangers they pose in volatility and to the health and welfare of the general public. The State Fire Marshal, Kansas Department of Health and Environment, as well as the City of McPherson Fire Department have state statutes and ordinances that are enforced on storage of hydrocarbon products, such as gasoline and diesel fuel. The products have a high vapor pressure, which means they turn from a liquid to a vapor relatively quickly. Higher temperature exacerbates this process. Buildings can become filled with vapors. Those vapors can find a nearby ignition source and cause an explosion or intense fire to ensue. And so we ask that everyone refrain from storing large amounts of fuel in unapproved containers or in areas that are not code compliant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, large amounts of fuel could be a real danger, particularly if you're close to any housing. This could be a bad thing. So hopefully you'll take that advice. Any call on Nick Gregory?
I had Phil Parrish with Atlee come in, and he wanted to make a request. He actually came in this morning, came up to the door, and we discussed. He would like to put a dumpster in the alley sometime probably this week or within the next week and a half to be able to empty some product that's been left over upstairs. I told him he needed to get in contact with all of the neighbors along that downtown block and find out whether there was going to be any conflicts. But I mentioned that I would discuss the matter with you and get some direction on whether we'd allow that if we're able to hear back some directive on that.
I just wonder if they have parking behind the store, if they could put it in their parking deal, and for at least this week, then they could park on a main street, and that would leave room in the alley. But I don't know. I'm just.
I think he needs to talk to police and fire about it too.
I'll go visit with them. I think they can get it close enough to the building where they're going to block.
Yeah, and he said, yeah, I mean, we still may want to avoid when like the trash trucks come in and things of that nature, but I'll if you'd go out and talk to him, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He says 3 days max is probably what he needs. So.
Well, if you're listening, Phil, Chief Golden will be by to talk to you. He doesn't want to leave with you.
That's all I had.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, thank you.
I know that unemployment has been difficult to sign up for, but now it's getting easier, and the state has help with even with the $600 that's coming from the Fed. You will get that retroactively, so you will get the whole time, even though it didn't come as quickly as even the state had hoped. So hopefully that will help many people financially. And the other thing is, if you need food, the food bank is open. And if you need to call them, you can call the phone number in the phone book. We will cover more later on under the COVID report, and we will have a food drive coming up to supplement them. But they are open, and there are some people that are finding them, and it doesn't matter who you are. And as you've seen some of the video and the news on TV, if you need food and you don't have money, you need food, and the food bank is a great source. And there have been a number of industries that have been trying to help out there, and we can step it up as the use gets stepped up. So please take advantage of them.
Mayor, you know, they run an expanded hours or just?
They have, to my knowledge, they have not run expanded hours yet, but if they need expanded hours, we will do everything we can to help them with volunteers. And I've had a number of churches and Ministerial Alliance ask what they could do, so would be a good place for them to step in and help the food bank. So we will put something out if they need help,
Good point.
besides food. Okay, I'll declare the public input session closed. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as distributed this morning?
So move.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll call on Chief Golden for Police Department.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As you know, we have 2 open positions at the police department. After careful consideration, we'd like a motion to approve making a conditional job offer to Blaine Jansen for the position of patrol officer pending successful pre-employment requirements effective May 4th of 2020.
I'll move to approve making a conditional job offer to Blaine Jansen for the position of patrol officer pending successful pre-employment requirements effective May 4th, 2020.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I will ask on that because we have the law enforcement training center closed at the moment. We will take advantage of local training until we can get him in. Is that correct?
It is correct, and retired Chief McClarty has just became a new position being in charge of scheduling classes, and I had a talk with him over the weekend, so things
Okay.
will be okay.
You think we're going
We're going
to
to be
begin to
okay.
move?
I think we're going to be okay.
Foot in the door, right?
He's second only to me in not wanting to move too slow.
The second item I have is a motion to approve a second animal control shelter technician position and close and remove the animal control officer position until further notice. We've been trying since December to fill the animal control officer position unsuccessfully, and they need help, and an animal control shelter technician could fill in the roles to help the animal shelter, as well as on the job description, we added picking up dogs. So they'll be able to leave the shelter, since there's 2 there, to help patrol out.
I'll move to approve a second animal control shelter technician position and close and remove the animal control officer position until further notice.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because my third item is motion to approve making a conditional job offer to Lucinda Jarvis for the position of animal control shelter technician pending successful pre-employment requirements effective May 4th, 2020.
I'm glad that you brought that up. This is a way to save money and not have a second position. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to move to approve making a conditional job offer to Lucinda Jarvis for the position of animal control shelter technician pending successful employment requirements effective May 4th, 2020.
I second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
I don't know, these meetings are kind of boring when there's nobody here and you're talking to the wall. Three Stooges. Okay, come on down, Wayne.
Morning.
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 I have one request today, and it's for Public Lands Facility Safety Shoe Policy. Public Lands Facility Safety Shoe Policy will allow all field employees 1 pair of safety shoes per year. require safety shoes be worn, and encourage employees to use reinforced toe shoes. Request commission approval to implement the public lands and facilities safety shoe policy as presented.
I'd make the motion to approve the implement of the public lands and facilities safety shoe policy as presented.
I second it.
Does this mean that everybody will be wearing safety shoes?
Yes.
No more
Something.
sandals while mowing?
Right.
Okay.
Ooh.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Public Works,
Morning, everyone.
Jeff Woodward,
Morning, Jeff.
Star
Morning, Jeff.
Stage Screen in northern Kansas.
First item I have for your consideration is out of the street department. We have damage at the northeast corner of Woodside and Main Street. The inlet top and curb is broken up and needs to be replaced. When replaced, we'll construct a bigger radius to accommodate truck traffic out of the mill. New ADA ramps also need to be constructed. We put together an estimate in the amount of $5,204.67 for materials only.
I move that we approve repairs to replace an inlet top and install a new curb and gutter and ADA ramp on the northeast corner of Woodside and Main for a cost not to exceed $5,204.67 for material only.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next item is cold mix patching material. On March 2nd, 2020, the commission approved the purchase of one load patch and pave, which is a cold mix patch material produced by Schilling Asphalt. This was a new material, and Schilling's out of Manhattan, Kansas. This material works better than the old cold patch we had been using. The price is competitive, but it's a little further away. We would like to get a $10,000 approval to purchase as needed throughout the remainder of the year.
I move that we approve purchase of patch and pave cold mix asphalt patching material from Schilling Asphalt Incorporated for a cost not to exceed $10,000.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next item is in the 200 block of Euclid. On October 7th, 2019, the commission approved the repair of the 200 block of West Euclid. We had received several complaints about the deteriorated parking pavement in that block. We tried to patch it with asphalt several times, but it just won't hold. We put together an estimate to remove and replace the pavement in the amount of $3,656.54 for materials only. We were able to complete this work in 2019, bring it back for approval this year.
Right. And I move that we reapprove the repair of street parking along the 200 block of West Euclid Street for a cost not to exceed $3,656.54, material only. This was previously approved on October 7, 2019, but we were unable to complete the work in 2019.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I might just add that the work is basically complete and it looks good. There should be, that's been an issue for a long time. I'm glad to see it done.
The next item is change order number 6 on the Hardup Elizabeth Street reconstruction project with Votes Parga for temporary surfacing. The contractor was able to complete the storm sewer portion of the construction on Hardup Elizabeth Street before the street reconstruction. However, in doing this, we created the need for temporary surfacing to accommodate traffic over the winter months. Attached for your review is change order with the computations for the required temporary surfacing. Total temporary surfacing used was 113.4 cubic yards versus the estimated 70 cubic yards in the contract. This caused a cost increase of the contract of $6,510.
I move that we approve change order number 6, Votes Parga Construction LLC on the Hardup Elizabeth Street project for temporary surfacing, approved over the winter months for the sanitary sewer was completed for a cost not to exceed $6,510.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next item is change order number 7, again with Votes Parga Construction on the Hardup Elizabeth Street reconstruction project to install a new sidewalk at 110 North Hardup, the Hardup Elizabeth Street reconstruction project. The grading that had to have been done would have damaged the roots on 2 large trees, requiring their removal. The trees otherwise were out of the way of construction. We installed an edge curb to hold the dirt up around the tree, saving the tree and the expense of the tree removal. We received a proposal from the contractor in the amount of $8 per lineal foot. A total of 45.33 lineal feet of edge curb was required for a total cost $362.64.
I move that we approve change order number 7, Votes Parker Construction LLC on Hardip Elizabeth Street project for installation of edge curb for a cost not to exceed $362.64.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Finally, I'd like to give you an update on the projects that we have under construction at this point. First is an update on the Grimes Anna Street reconstruction project. The installation of the storm sewer on Grimes from Loomis to Hulse is now complete. Grading has continued as weather has allowed. Grimes Street is completely closed, Loomis to Hulse. Hulse Street is closed to through traffic from Grimes to North High Drive. Next is an update on the Hardip Elizabeth Street reconstruction project. Curb and gutter on Hardip Street, Elizabeth to Hancock, and on-street parking on the west side of the school is complete. Work continues on tie-ins and driveways and sidewalks in this same block. Grading on the first 350-foot section south continued as weather permitted. The intersection of Hardip and Hancock will remain open. This will allow the contractor to work 2 areas at one time. Hardip Street, Avenue A to Hancock is closed to through traffic with local access from Avenue A and sites. Through traffic on Hardip is detoured onto Park Street. Hardip Street remains completely closed between Hancock and Elizabeth. Next is an update on the Holtz area drainage project. Sanitary sewer work was completed on Hull Street north on Crescent. Pavement patching for the sewer work is scheduled to be completed this week. Work on the box culvert is also scheduled to start. I'd like to remind everyone again that the Hull Street is closed to through traffic from North High Drive to Grimes. And then an update on the Plaza East Street reconstruction project. Phase 3, which is the very east end, work continues on driveway tie-ins. Normal access is still closed off with temporary access in use into Days Inn and Holiday Inn Express. I'd like to remind everyone that weekly construction updates, road closures and detours, and planned road closures and planned detours are available on the city's website, www.mcpcity.com. And finally, I'd like to announce that we have a scheduled public meeting for tomorrow night, Tuesday the 28th at 6, here in the commission room at the Municipal Center regarding the Chestnut Street Improvements Project. All affected property owners have been notified by mail. You can join us on GoToMeeting, and the details are listed below. Very limited amount of seating is available in the commission room. It'll be on a first come, first served basis by calling our office for reservations. So that's all I had unless you have any questions.
Don't think so.
Good
Thanks,
job.
Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, call Nick Gregory to read off the board and staff appointments effective May 1.
As Mayor mentioned, these all become effective on May 1st. That's when most of our appointments do take effect, is on May 1st. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go read the names. The expiration dates are on here. It's an awful long list, so I'm just going to read down the names. And if anybody would like to see the appointment, the terms for these, feel free to go on the board docs and look at that. Appointed officials, Bill Mills, Brian Bina, Jeff Houston, Nick Gregory, Janetta Shepik, Tamara Seeley, Michael Golden, TJ Weisman, Jeff Woodward, and Ralph Wayne Burns are the appointed officials. Moving on to other boards and committees. Convention and Tourism Board, Don Corby. A new appointment, Diane Fallis, Nick Gregory, Lisa Tinkler, Ralph Wayne Burns, Tiffany Elrich,
Eldridge.
Monica Rice, Special Alcohol and Drug Abuse Committee, James Leduc, Nancy Billings, Carla Barber, Stephanie Heinrichs, City Planning Commission, Mary Steffes, Tiffany Floyd, Brennan Randa, Roger Wolford, Chuck Schmidt, James Mellon, and Brian Little. Board of Zoning Appeals, Gloria Schroeder, Chris Goodson, Margaret Smith. Tree Board, Don Fast. Park Board, Gary Mell, Bonnie Hoffman, Patty Wall, Ron Peters, Ivan Cabezas. Turkey Creek Golf Course Advisory Board, Keith Sherwood, Kirk Kinnaman, Jamie Piper, Erica Seltzer, Gary Hess. And Cemetery Advisory Board, Troy Glidden, representing one of the funeral homes, Kevin Stockham representing the other, John Harper representing VFW, and Tom Frankenfield representing American Legion, and finally Janet Franz. So with that, I would ask that we go ahead and approve those appointments with the terms as listed.
I'll move to approve the City of McPherson Board, Commission, Committee, and staff appointments as presented.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You-
I move that we approve Mayor Brown to execute contracts with the city attorney, city prosecutor, and municipal judge.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And they have all signed off on that, so we're good to go.
Okay.
Moving on to my administrative report. The ESG grant reimbursement request number 9 in the amount of $11,852.51 brings the 2019 ESG running total to $85,512.76, which equates to 91% of the awarded $94,050. ESG, just as a reminder, stands for Emergency Solutions Grant. It is a grant that's funded through KDHE and is administered by the City of McPherson for the benefit of the McPherson Housing Coalition. And they use it for various homeless prevention programs and activities that are out there. There is some guidance on how they have to use that. And I think there's actually been some directive that's come as a result of this COVID that's allowed them to move some of those funds around, and they may be taking advantage of that as well. So,
Okay, I move that we approve payment to McPherson Housing Coalition for the ESG grant reimbursement request number 9 in the amount of $11,852.51. Authorize the mayor to sign all related documents.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
back on January 6th of 2020, the commission approved $1,805 for upgrades to Laserfish software. There were 2 quotes presented, one from Reach Solution to upgrade that server for the amount of $795, and another quote from Galaxy Business Equipment Incorporated to upgrade the Laserfish software to $1,010 for a grand total not to exceed $1,805. But after reviewing the final invoice from Galaxy Business Machine, there were some additional charges for labor that came through, $360 due to installation running longer than expected, and we do need to look at increasing the total amount authorized to Galaxy Business Equipment for $1,010 from $1,010 to $1,370. This would bring the total upgrade cost of the Laserfish software to $2,165.
I'll make the motion to increase the January 6, 2020 approved payment to Galaxy Business Equipment Incorporated from $1,010 to an amount not to exceed $1,370, an increase of $360 for upgrades in the Laserfish software.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There are a number of pay memos for your consideration. Some are the new employees that have already been mentioned in this meeting, and some are existing employees with 6-month step or year-long or 6-month step increase, depending on whether they're on the modified or the regular schedule. Blaine Jansen, Police Department Patrol Officer, starting at $19.91, effective May 4th. Lucinda Jarvis, Animal Control Technician, starting at $13.52 per hour, effective May 4th. Katie Stelzer, Travel Center Administrative Assistant, going from $18.69 to $19.25, effective May 4th. Nick McQueen, Convention and Visitors Bureau, Community Building Event Manager, going from $21.03 to $21.45 per hour, effective May 4th. Rita Erkelentz, Assistant Court Clerk, going from $16.13 to $16.61 per hour, effective May 4th. Alex Grebon, Fire Department Firefighter, going from $16.01 to $16.33 per hour, effective May 4th. William Burgess, Police Department Patrol Officer, going from $26.29 to $26.82 per hour, effective May 4th. Cody Kramer, Cemetery Sexton City Forester, going from $28.62 to $29.19, effective May 4th. And Jacob Weard, Equipment Operator 1, going from $18.70 to $19.45, also effective May 4th.
I move we approve the wages as read.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There is one investment for your consideration. That's First Bank Kansas. Well, it's actually 2 CDs for $500,000. First Bank Kansas at $500,000. Else 6-month CD.
I'd make a motion to approve the investment.
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm not sure what it says. Those two 500,000 are 6-month CDs at 0.45, which
Right.
is
Right.
down.
Yep.
Got it.
That's what it says. Okay.
And that's something we're keeping an eye on as the economy's taken a little bit of a hit. While our interest rates have taken another nosedive on our CDs, so that's just something to be cognizant and aware of, that our interest income is going to really start to drop here, I think, for the remainder of the year. Bonds, there's 4 of them for your consideration. Northwind Installation Services, Sabetha, Kansas, $5,000 electrical bond. E&M Plumbing Incorporated out of Hutchinson, both a $5,000 plumbing bond and a $5,000 mechanical bond. And Charlie's Electric Company out of Idman, a $5,000 electrical bond.
I move we approve the bonds.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You did not, on my agenda,
Yeah.
cover 6.3 and 6.4.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I skipped those over.
I agree.
Okay, going back to 6.3.
Right.
I don't know how I skipped over those, but apparently I did. We, as of 4/15 of 2020, cash balance on the golf course had gone down to $36,680.01. The last payroll expense was $8,124.26. Accounts payable expenses for April totaled $16,483.84. And accounts payable for April 20th is estimated to be around it was $1,104.02. The next payroll is estimated to be just under $8,000. Takes the cash balance down to around $30,000. While the golf course was shut and was just recently temporarily closed and recently reopened, the golf course revenues obviously suffered some significant setbacks. We still had to do work out there, and we still had to pay our full-time staff. Even with the recent reopening and several healthy days of revenues, there is a need to make that first transfer to avoid going in the red within the next several months. There's 2 scheduled transfers, and they're always subject to availability funds. But at this point, we're recommending that we make the first of those 2 transfers of $25,000, and obviously as we get close later in the year, we'll continue to look at that and see the likelihood of whether we'll have to make a second transfer of $25,000. But at this point, we are making the recommendation we go ahead and make that first $25,000 transfer to the golf course fund from the general fund.
I'd make the motion to approve the first half of 2020 budgeted transfer of $25,000 from the general fund to the municipal golf course fund for cash flow purposes.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
In February of 2020, McPherson was awarded, as many people know, a $300,000 CDBG housing rehabilitation grant. It was the third CDBG grant that we received. It covered basically a target area that is Main Street, everything to the east. It's Avenue A to the south. It's both sides of Elm Street going down to Avenue F, and Avenue F both sides of the street. It's our third that we've had, and that brings brings our amount that we've received over to close to $1 million in reinvestment into the community. We are finally to a point where we've got a couple days left. Actually, I think it just ran out. The environmental review period we put out in the paper just ran out, and we're in the process of trying to schedule a public meeting. Obviously, public meetings are more difficult right now, but we will be holding a virtual public meeting, and very similar to what Jeff Woodward did, we will make some spots available publicly in a building for people that don't have access to a computer. But that'll be held on May 7th at 7 p.m. We will have it via Zoom. A letter's gone out. It's going out this morning to every owner of property in that target area that's there, giving them the heads up about this meeting, but we'll also put it out on social media and try to get the word out about it. Depending on how many people need to be there in person, we may look at different venues so I can keep people, we could observe all the social distance criteria that come along with that. But we're going to try to encourage as many people as I can to attend that May 7th meeting via Zoom. And there are some instructions here to kind of get on. Also that day, I'll be sending out an email to all the contractors. We're trying to gather some interest from many local contractors that might want to bid on some of these projects. They do need to be bid on by a contractor that meets all the requirements by the state of Kansas. And there's a few requirements that are outside the norm of what we usually do for our contractors. They are mostly, there's a renovator, there's some lead safe practice certifications that go out there, but we'll also earlier on that day be sending out a letter to all of our contractors encouraging them to attend also another virtual meeting we make available. We may do that multiple times to try to encourage contractors to give a couple more times, so hopefully we get a couple interested. All the contractors we've had at this point we've not had a local contractor that's ever wanted to bid on any of the CDBG projects, but we've had a lot of the same contractors either from the Wichita area or Hutchinson area, so we'd absolutely love to have some local contractors. It's just typically there's a lot on their plates, and but if we can get a local one, we'd be glad to do that. But I would encourage anybody that's in the target area, or if anybody knows somebody in the target area that might not listen to these meetings regularly, if you let them know that we are having a meeting on May 7th, and this will be that opportunity for them to find out anything more that they want to about this grant. They can ask questions of the grant administrator, the grant inspector, and if you can't attend that, we'll also try to have that meeting saved that you can go back on Facebook and look at. And so that's one of the great parts about virtual meetings, is that it does give us that ability to do that. So we are moving forward with that. Our goal, just so everybody knows, is we'd like to, by 1st of July, be looking at doing our first set of houses. We typically do them in pods of 3 to 5 houses. If we can do our first 5 houses and get those bid out, we're going to try our best to get going. We've always always been on time with all of our CDBG grants, getting them done. We have 2 years from the date of award, and we're going to continue to try to do that, even with some of the difficult times that we've got going as it relates to this COVID-19 issues. So with that, there's not really any action that's needed, just more of an informational piece.
Okay, I would like to move that we recess the city commission meeting for April 27th, 2020 in order to move on with the study sessions and then reconvene the meeting. Is
I'll
there a s-
second.
Okay, there's first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we will reconvene the city commission meeting, and there was nothing that I heard to come forward from the study sessions that won't be next week. So unless there's nothing that we didn't complete on the schedule, so I believe that it would be in line for adjournment, unless somebody has something. Nothing online yet? Okay. We will still have a meeting scheduled for Wednesday, and if nothing comes out of the EOC meeting, then that meeting will be canceled, but we keep that on the table just in case there's something that we have to do. And I think that some of the meetings and announcements on reopening are going to come after our Tuesday meeting, so we'll have to deal with those kinds of things on Monday. So with that, I'd like to adjourn the city commission meeting for April 27th, 2020.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.